it,
Yeah.
it makes them blurry in After Effects.
Yeah, I can show you what I
Yeah, can you
mean.
share your screen?
Yep.
And hey, the rest of y'all can get to working if you don't have any questions, but you might be interested in this. Um,
So like, I mean, it's, oops. So you can kind of see like it's just really pixelated.
yeah. Okay, so if you hit, how do I get that? How do you frame it up? Okay, so where it says 100 and 1600% there on the, yeah, make that fit. Okay, so now what you were doing is you were like super zoomed into it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's gonna look that pixelated because um, there's no like it would be like standing really close to your television or something. Like it's gonna look blurry. One thing
Okay.
I will say for everybody, if you will please do this in your Illustrator file and your After Effects file, if you hit Command K, please, Mackenzie. So this will bring up, yeah, so change your uh, width to 1920 and then the height to 1080. Yep. And then 1080. Yep. Okay, so this will be like a appropriate for screen size, viewing
Okay.
on your computer, viewing on television, something like that. Now, so now do you see where in the middle it says full with parentheses around it?
Yeah.
That's saying if you click the arrow down, so right now you're on auto. So it's saying I'm gonna try to render this at full resolution. However, it might vary is what those parentheses mean. So looks like your document is 30 seconds long. Like that'll be super long for an animation like this. So,
Yeah, that just like automatically put it there. The
so
thing's only like 6 seconds, but I need to shorten it anyway.
okay, so can you scroll down where I can see all your layers? Okay, yeah, so you don't have anything past like 7 seconds.
No.
So if you hit Command K again, and you see the duration there at the bottom. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
reading 0 hours, 0 minutes, 30 seconds, and 0 frames. So change that to 0.7 there. Yep, and then hit OK. So now, hopefully that'll cut down on the reason that it was, one of the reasons that it was looking pixelated was because you were super zoomed in. But the other is because uh, you were doing like full resolution and After Effects was having trouble keeping up with where your resolution was at. Can you
Okay.
also go to and hey, all class, pay attention to this part too. If you go to um, After Effects and Preferences in the top and go to Memory and Performance. So right now your computer has 16 gigs dedicated to RAM. And that's great though. You've got a bunch of RAM now dedicated to uh, After Effects only. So the whole class, you might find that, man, my animation's really feeling slow. Go here and make sure that you have as much RAM dedicated to After Effects as you can. And you might need to go back and change this after you're done rendering. But like dedicate as much as you can, shut down all your other programs, and that'll help After Effects run better. So, okay, so we know that, and then go up to, but if you wanted to make it less, you see where you could adjust the 5 and you can make it less.
Yeah. Hmm.
So then also go up to media and disk cache. And right now you see you have your max cache at 23. That's not super big. So go to your top, the very top of your Mac, and the Apple logo, and click About This Mac. And it should bring up a window.
Yeah, I'm proud of this.
Oh, where's it at? I don't see it.
Right in the middle.
Oh, you know what? You're sharing only After Effects.
Oh, okay. Here, I'll switch.
Okay, let's see that.
There we go.
Okay, so now go over to storage. So now, okay, so this is a tip for everybody, you know, like for After Effects and heavy rendering programs like this to run, like 3D programs and things like that, you always want like as much free space as you can dedicate towards caching and RAM. So right now you have 113 gigabytes available for your RAM. So what I would say is now go back to your After Effects window and bump that number up to, what was it, 113? Type in like 110 or something like that. So now you're telling After Effects you can build up to 110 gigs of cache. So what you'll want to do is to go in here and hit occasionally, if you're running into like render speed problems, like it's just rendering really slow, you'll want to hit empty disk cache there. And so everybody knows when, okay, yeah, so it looks like you only had a 627 megabytes. That's not too bad at all. But like you get pretty deep into a project and that'll easily, you know, that'll easily start slowing you down when there's so much cache buildup. So you can clear it there if you hit okay. And then you can also, there at the bottom where it says clean database and cache, that'll be ways for you to free up room in your computer for rendering quickly. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay.
There's
so,
also,
yeah.
I was watching a tutorial and the guy said like in After Effects, there's like that little starburst icon on your layers. If you click that, it kind of makes it less blurry.
Okay. Yeah. So that, yeah, so that can be helpful, but it can also like end up slowing down your previews quite a bit. So yeah, proceed with caution with that. In my experience, it's really like at times it's really slowed down my rendering. Okay, so those are some things to work on. And so now it seems like it seems sharp to me, like where it should be.
Yeah.
Does it seem blurry to you? Okay, if you zoom
Like
in
just
like
when
that,
you zoom in, I guess.
it's gonna look blurry when you zoom
Okay.
in. So now zoom in and then to where it's blurry for you. And try switching where it says full, switching it to actual full. Yeah, okay, that won't matter. So switch it back to auto. It's not gonna render like this, blurry like this. So hopefully this was helpful to the group. I'll get up a few more videos where I'm talking some technical and some process. Yeah. How about everybody just work, and I'll be getting these videos up and I'll let you know when they're up and ready. But I'm trying to address most everybody's motion needs in this. Everybody's that I can think of. So yeah.
Okay, I did have one more thing. So I did the motion 2 thing, but like nothing's actually there. Like this is
Okay.
what it is. I didn't know if you would know what to do or not, or if I just
Yeah,
need.
click that drop down. What does it do? Not that one, the
Oh,
yeah, there. Okay, so it's not showing it. There might be something in your settings.
okay.
Like I think there's something in your settings where
Like my computer settings or
no, After Effects settings. So there might be something about allowing plugins. I'm not exactly sure. Does anybody else having trouble with Motion 2? If you go to preferences.
I couldn't even get it to download to my laptop.
Oh, really?
Like I tried to put it in the folder that you said to put it in on Canvas, and it wouldn't let me put it in that folder.
So you downloaded it from Canvas to your computer into your like downloads folder, and it wouldn't let you copy it over into that folder?
Yeah, it was being really weird. I mean, I can try it again because I only tried it that one time.
Did you download that other thing that you have to do for Macs?
I think so.
Okay.
But I'll try it again and I'll let you know if I'm still having issues.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's I'm having, you can maybe Google like Google how to install Motion 2, or there might be some information on that, on where Motion 2 is sold. They might have some documentation on that where you can download Motion 3 here. Whoops. Where's that? So they might have some documentation in here about installing, but the problem we're going to run into is like a lot of their documentation is going to be geared towards Motion 3 instead of 2. So there might be something in here, or you could also just go to Google about like installing a plugin. I think that there's something in the settings where you need to say to allow plugins, but it prompted me whenever I installed Motion 2, it prompted me to do this, and now I don't remember where it's at.
Okay.
Because I had the same thing happen to me where I had to do some kind of setting, but it prompted me to do it. I'm not seeing it now. Okay, Mackenzie, if you'll go to Preferences in Scripting and Expression. I think it's that at the top, allow scripts to write and access network. Let me look real quick though first. Because yeah, I had that checked and you didn't.
Okay.
Okay, so then hit OK, and then save your document and quit After Effects. And then try reopening it. You know, it's funny. I got that copy of Motion 2 from one of my classmates like 5 years ago. So this is where like when you buy it yourself, like the problem solving is a little bit easier, you know, because they'll give you documentation on installing it. Ah, there we go. So now hit OK. Whoop. Thanks, After Effects.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. I am a rock star. Maybe make the window a little bit bigger. I think there's a button hiding.
Ah, there we go.
Yep, there we go.
Okay,
Boom.
thank you.
Right. Okay, hey, real quick, I want everybody to pay attention to this. Will you hit those, there's the 3 zeros and then those little shapes next to it.
Yep.
You click on those.
The shapes?
Yeah. And this reveals the anchor points. This is like one of my favorite things about Motion 2 is that, so grab one of any of your letters on the artboard. Yeah, just click any of them. Okay, so now, well, this is a good example. So do you see okay, there we
go.
Yeah, just grab one of them. Yeah, okay, so does everybody see that target looking thing there in the middle? Yep. This is what drives all of your animation. It goes around that singular point in your animations. So if it's way off, you're going to be animating around, like if it's over here and you turn on a rotation, it's going to rotate around that rather than where you're thinking it will rotate, like in the center. So one of the coolest things to like quickly tell the anchor point where to go is like with this. Is one of my, like, this is like 90% of why I use Motion 2 is because I put a shape in and the anchor point isn't centered and I could just hit that center button right there and it puts it right in the middle. So yeah, this is one of my favorite things about Motion 2 is that function right there, because otherwise you have to come up here to this anchor point moving deal and you have to like move it around and try to find the center. So it's yeah, it's really annoying to have to do that. So anyways, yeah, that's, hopefully everybody has downloaded Motion 2, and Sarah, try it again and let me know if you have any trouble. Otherwise it's just work time for everybody. All right, and I'll keep working on these videos.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I brought my Illustrator file into After Effects and I made like the vector like shape layer, I think is what it's called, but the color didn't transfer and I can't figure out how to change the color of the vector.
Okay. So
and
show me,
like,
will you share your screen real quick? And hopefully everybody at home while you're working, you can kind of keep your eyes on this stuff. It would be really helpful if you, for me, if you followed along so I didn't have to like problem solve a bunch. Okay, so show me.
So this is the,
okay, yeah, so
the vector.
You converted it to so what you've done here is taken an Illustrator file and converted it into a shape. So you've taken it from After Effects language and put it in, sorry, you've taken it from Illustrator language and put it in After Effects, and now it doesn't fill anywhere, right?
Yeah,
so,
and I can't figure out how to like,
yeah,
okay, I guess that, but
well, yeah,
like
so go to the top with the fill and it, okay, it's already got a fill, so why isn't that showing? Hit OK. Oh wait, what did that say?
That's been popping up a lot.
After Effects error, could not parse mask shape on clipboard. Okay. Hit OK. I don't know what that means, but we'll figure this out. So go down here to twirl that down. And then can you move this up, like grab this and move it up where we can see more of the, yeah, there you go. Now open up content. And yeah, okay, it's got your fill.
I figured out a way, like you can make a gradient fill, like that's what I have on my original piece, but it doesn't show up. Like even if I do this, it doesn't work.
Okay, go back to your Illustrator file and make it just black.
In Illustrator?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is another cool thing I was going to show in the videos, but if you leave your Illustrator file unconverted, like you don't convert it to a shape, whatever changes you make in Illustrator will populate to After Effects. But After Effects is only going to treat it like an image.
So
will you open it in Illustrator?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just like copy the vectors and paste it into After Effects?
Maybe you could probably do that. But let's look at your Illustrator file first. You might be able to copy and paste in the shapes. I'm not sure if there's any problems there with that though. Okay, so that, and it's black and white and it's a solid shape.
Yeah.
Okay, can you zoom in on it a little bit?
It's actually
okay, I'm seeing go ahead.
So to change this gradient, I grouped these into different I don't know what it's called, but it's like, it might be on here.
So
I needed a compound path to change the color, but it might not be the same one here. So
yeah, okay, so I'm thinking maybe it's a little too complex to do that shape transition thing. But let's, can you ungroup it? And now can you select just the word U? Okay, like drag the whole artboard, like select all of these. Okay, now, okay, with how they're ungrouped, okay, so save out an artboard where this is the only thing in your Illustrator file. Let's try that. So like save out a new Illustrator file and then delete everything that's not this black version. And make it 1920 by 1080. In the size. There you go. Okay, so this is the only thing in the artboard. And save it. Okay, and they're separated deals. Now go over to, or wait, you got to save it first. Yeah, there we go. Great file organization, by the way, too. I'm always a fan of that with students staying organized. Okay, so go back to Illustrator, or go back to After Effects and import this file. Yep. Doing it as footage should be fine. Yep. And you don't have any layers, so okay, now pull it down in there. All right, now try to do the convert to shape layer thing again. There we go. So there was something getting hung up with your, with all that extra stuff on the artboard, I'm thinking. There was something messing up between Illustrator and After Effects. Okay, so another, go ahead.
It was on its own artboard though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know that. I don't know the answer to that. I know that the more simple I make things, the better that transition happens. Okay, so now you see down here, these are all your After Effects distinguish 18 unique shapes. So you might want to break those out into their own thing, where you can treat them separately. So ways you could do that is you could duplicate this shape layer, and then like say you wanted just to have you be a shape that you could play with, then you would duplicate it and delete everything that's not you, and deserve and love. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So another way is when you import it from Illustrator, you could just do one word at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, now this is gonna, so with it all together, you could do that gradient thing.
Okay.
That you wanted to do.
I don't know how to do that though.
The duplicate?
Like add the gradient.
Oh, okay. So to duplicate, it would just be Command D. But the gradient, so right now you have the whole thing selected. So you would go up to fill. Yeah, don't do add. Do fill there in the middle, in the very top middle. Click the blue word fill. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, okay. Go back down to your layers and select that. Yep. Now click the word fill.
Okay, I did. Oh, wait.
Yep. Now hit one of the gradient styles you want. Yep. And hit OK. All right. Now click the color fill. And you can mess around with the colors you want.
Okay.
And then also there's going to be, if you hit OK for now, okay, this is where, ooh, it's going to treat each of those 18 of those shapes as individual gradients.
Yeah, that's why I had them as a compound, like group.
Yeah, okay.
Illustrator,
so you can also, let me check something real quick. So yes, that's a good call there, that you wanted to treat it as one shape. So that's how you would prepare it in Illustrator. Let's see. Okay, try another. Now undo that. Just hit Command Z to where we get back to that black. Okay, so yeah, you're right. If you make it a compound shape in Illustrator, it should import as just one thing. So if you go to Windows at the top and find Effects and Preset. Yep. Okay, now type in gradient in the search part over here.
Oh.
Yep. And with your layer selected, which you already have, click on gradient ramp. Yeah, double click that. There you go.
Okay.
So there's like in this creative world, there's always like a dozen ways to get to your problem. It's just knowing the rules, you know? So this is a way you could do it too. And then you could animate how the gradient fills the space or doesn't.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna get back to these videos while y'all work and let me know if y'all have any questions.